until the icon is barely visible. Hey guys, welcome to the MagCast. This is Ixion, and I have a good show for you here today, or I should say, we have a good show for you today.
And how do you know it's going to be good?
Oh,
Because I'm on it. So,
are you a
be
fortune
quiet.
teller?
Be
Do you
quiet.
see?
A fortune teller?
A future teller? Do you have a crystal ball?
Okay, great.
a fortune teller.
Well, if you shut up and we get to the future, we'll be able to know, won't we?
I guess so. Well, join
Yeah,
us
yeah.
on this trip
So-
to the future.
Yeah, so anyway, we have Mayokai with us
Special
for the first
guest.
time in 2.0.
Well, I was in the pilot.
Yeah, he was.
No, I meant for
integral.
2.0.
Was MagCon not part of that 2.0?
Yeah, wasn't that part of it?
We also have Fayore here.
Hello, everyone. How are you this fine day?
And as you already heard, Lantis.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so why don't we start off like we, always do, except for that first time, and talk about what we've done. In fact, you know what? I'm going to talk about what I've been doing first. Usually a host lets other people talk, but no, I'm going to do it first this time.
He is a revolutionary.
Yeah, just call me the revolutionary girl. So, what have I been doing? Oh, I've been doing plenty. First off, I completed on this very day, which is 420.
No, why?
Well, anyway, I finished the Magonian the Gathering set based on V6 and
Boo!
shut up.
I beg your pardon?
MagCon 2013 and MagCon West and all that stuff. So it's all those together. It's a 122 card set right now, and is the most balanced and diverse set that I've ever created. And it's the biggest set. Did I say that was the biggest set?
Yeah. Oh,
All right, well...
Not on
I'm
the
just-
podcast.
Oh, well, this is the biggest set of Magonian the Gathering, and I'm actually in the middle of trying to make the Magic Workstation stuff get together so that other people can just download the cards and give it a nice
I think that's going to
playtest.
be a fun couple of nights there.
Ix, I got your biggest set right here.
Oh, my goodness. Are you sure it's not like a bite-sized piece of anything? It's kind of like
Can't say that kind of stuff.
Not even
You're
a
killing
cold
me.
bite.
this
Sorry.
dude's coughing.
Look.
Like, so I actually also beat the third part of The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, I haven't
He's
done that
ahead
yet.
of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I hit up a lot of people. And without spoilers, of course, good episode. I really do enjoy this universe. Oh, my
yeah.
God. There was this one clip where somebody modded Bigby's character model
Ooh.
to just do invisible pole dancing.
I saw that.
All right.
It was so good.
So while they're just talking about random stuff, he's just like,
Oh, man, he's
rocking
working
this
it
invisible pole. He's
so
working the pole.
hard.
Oh my God, it is so funny.
I mean, he's just grinding the hell out of it, too.
It's insane, and he's constantly doing it too. So it's not like he's grinding a little bit and leave. Nah, he is gone. He is on.
Well, he's
the pole.
committed.
He
has
is
to earn
going to
that bread
make it
for
rain.
snow.
Well, otherwise, I've been playing some Lowdown, of course, and
Right.
didn't we all just play some? Oh yeah, we've been playing Bomberman and stuff like that on this program called MAME Hub.
Which, of course, maybe...
Which doesn't exist.
No, of course not.
So nobody looked that up.
And
Well, great.
right.
Great.
It's like, I guess the idea would be that if something like this did exist, it would be like a collection of ROMs and emulators all in one location that has
Wouldn't that be awesome? though?
functioning net play across everything.
Well, it's still, if it were to exist, it would still be kind of a work in progress.
Right, right. But this is all hypothetical, so.
Yeah.
Indeed. But you know what? That's enough about me. Let's go down. Actually, let's give it to Micah. Micah, what have you been doing?
Besides playing video with all y'all, all I've been doing recently is Mario Kart 7, trying to get everything. 3 gold
Oh,
stars
yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, you've been trying to get 3 stars in every track.
By the way, did you ever beat Brave New World?
I did not. I might want to
Oh.
get back to that.
I would
tonight
like
or
to see more of
something.
that. Of course, Brave New World being the Final Fantasy VI mod or ROM hack.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
if ROMs existed.
Yeah, if ROMs existed. And that Lufia RPG Maker 2003
Oh, yeah,
game,
I need
if
to
those
finish that,
existed.
too.
How did you figure out the word for just wrong? Like, what made you say wrong?
I don't know. It was just, I think I might have had like a mini stroke. I seized up for a second. ROM!
Okay. Well, we'll get you some aspirin.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. So, Faye, what have you been up to? Wait,
I actually just rebooted my YouTube channel. It's,
Did you?
yeah, not like super reboot, but like new content time. Like, I'm gonna focus on RPG Maker Challenge, which has been dead for months. And, I started recording some of our multiplayer if we had a tool to do some of that. Of course, and it's up, and I'm gonna try to make that thing with MAG members just doing their thing, and just regular LP stuff. And
Cool.
I've been playing games with you guys, of course, and going
course.
insane trying to modify a ROM if those were to exist. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing Conception too because I need to make Star Children.
That game.
oh yeah, that's true.
That game.
I think that's about it.
Okay, well, good. Lantis, that leaves you then, buddy.
Oh gosh, this is going to be short. I've just been playing Bravely Default. I'm like in chapter 5, I think. I just started chapter 5. And other than that, it's the same old, just, the non-existent MAME hub and, Steam games like Loadout and Path of Exile or whatever.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's something is bothering me because I know I just beat a game recently, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember what I just beat. I mean, I know I beat Sunset Riders Arcade when I went to the arcade.
Was it anything while you were at my place?
No, I don't think so. Oh, well, yeah, no.
What?
No.
Really?
Look, let me just... I'll just mention that, though. I did go and play and beat the Magical Quest games.
Oh, yeah.
The entire series. So that was very fun.
Oh, and
that's coming through.
something else we kind of messed around with was the Super Mario 64 multiplayer ROM hack that we were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
If ROMs existed.
I really want to do something with that in my mind.
Yeah. There might be something that happens from that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just up to us whether or not we think of imaginary things. Okay, anyway, why don't we push on since everybody has gotten their updates out of the way. And we have the first story of the podcast, which is Heart-Forth Alicia has a Kickstarter. And within the first 5 days, this project has been funded. And not only funded,
Almost
but
doubled.
almost 100% fun, or wait a minute,
200%, almost 200%.
I suppose.
We play video games. We don't
Actually,
play
what
math.
I would say it would be 100% more than what the original goal was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
I don't think there's been a faster funding in Kickstarter.
There has.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure there has been. It's just
Yeah.
different. But so anyway, this game is a Metroidvania RPG, a 2D sprite-based Metroidvania, and this game, I tell you, is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, you gotta check out that trailer. There.
Yeah. There is a trailer if you look it up, and the thing is, this entire game started as one person creating this game. He's been working on it for 7 years. This actually reminds me of the guy who did Dust.
Mm-hmm.
Except that the guy who did Dust actually completed what he was
by
doing.
himself. All he had was a sound guy.
Yeah. Speaking about Dust, I'm pretty sure Dust made over 1 million copies by now. So, congratulations to him.
Such a good game, yeah. He deserves every last bit of that money.
Mm-hmm. But let's talk about Heart-Forth. Heart-Forth had this Kickstarter because the guy said he had already been doing it for 7 years and he didn't think he was going to get done anytime soon. So he wanted to use the Kickstarter to employ additional help to finish this game. And people have just been backing this thing in droves. This thing is... It really is Metroidvania. It's like Symphony of the Night.
Right,
You could tell it was influenced by it. And, oh my gosh, the sprites are so good. They are so fluid.
Right. It's like, all right, going back to Dust, the difference between, at least graphically, between Dust and Alicia is all of Dust was like hand-drawn backgrounds and stuff like that. This is like pixel art, and with a huge emphasis on art. Like, the pixel artist that's done this work, it's just really good.
And the concept art is also like out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Looking at it.
there's something I'd kind of want to point out. I'm assuming everybody at least watched the trailer, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end of it, there was this like live action shot at the very end, and I'm like, what's the deal with that? I don't
It's
know if
apparently
that's
going to be in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really kind of weird. That you don't see that very often. The only games you've seen live action stuff in are all like CDO games and are awful.
CDO.
The CDO, isn't it?
I think you mix up the CD...
CDI and 3DO?
And the 3DO. I
3D, yeah.
think.
Yeah, I did. I completely did.
The Philips
the three-
CDI and
the
and
3DO.
the Atari 3DO. Or no, wait. What's 3DO by? It was by somebody else, but never mind. It's besides the point.
But regardless, like the only other time I've ever seen live action in a video game.
Yeah, a Sega CD too.
No. Alan Wake had live action in there.
Oh,
game.
really?
Yeah, and it worked. It worked
Oh,
all right.
cool.
In fact, it was kind of surreal seeing it like swap back and forth between Alan Wake. But what was really cool, the character Alan Wake was actually modeled, like his face and everything was modeled after the Finnish the voice actor that did the voice. So, whenever it transitioned to like live action versus in game,
It still looked like him.
it worked. It worked, and it worked real well. But if they kind of did that for this, I don't know. Maybe that can make a comeback. Maybe one day, like, can you imagine if like people put as much effort in their cutscenes, in their games, in their storytelling, as they did, say, like a blockbuster movie? Like, that could work. I don't know.
I think you
Yeah.
could.
It very well could. Not saying they couldn't.
I
at
think
all.
an M. Night Shyamalan Twisty is coming up.
All right, let's not get
That
that crazy here.
Little crazy.
But Faye, you had some points you wanted to mention about this game as well.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Oh, of course. So I think it was Fax who asked us kind of like what sets this apart from other Kickstarters, because there's plenty of, crappy, for example, I'm sorry, home site, RPG Maker games trying to squat $1 out for like, I need $2,000 to make an RPG Maker VX Ace game.
No, you don't.
It's not going to work. So
No, you don't.
the thing about it is, this game is also backed by Chucklefish, and they're super popular because Starbound, and they're actually publishing it for them.
Oh, really?
So that helps.
I didn't know that,
a ton.
actually.
I didn't know that either.
That's awesome.
Actually, yeah, some of the backer rewards are Starbound-related paraphernalia.
Yes.
Ah.
Wow, that's cool.
I think that's a part of its success. And then the amount of polish that's going on is something a Kickstarter needs for games.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the polish is astounding. Everything... I can't describe how many sprites that everything has.
Yeah, that sprite sheet's going to be crazy.
That sprite sheet must be like...
A million bajillion.
Like 100 different sprites.
But I'm not even good at Metroidvania games. I barely even play them. But this game makes me want to play it.
I'm pretty sure if you played
If you play Symphony of the Night, you probably played every single one.
yeah, and if you play it, I'm sure you'll like it because it's a good formula. Like
It
Yeah,
is.
progression and
good.
exploration and all that stuff. Just
Or-
it feels right.
Or if you played Metroid, then you have as well. Obviously.
Right.
Right.
But going off of the influence of Chucklefish, I actually was digging through and found out that Alicia, the main character, is actually in another game.
Oh.
Yeah, called Hex Heroes, which isn't. I don't think a lot of people know about yet, but it's got some pretty important people behind it. Like Grant Kirkhope is doing the music for that game.
Yes. Oh my god. All over my ears.
Yeah, and just in case you don't know, Grant is the guy that did all the music for a lot of the N64 games back in the day, like Perfect Dark, DK64, Banjo,
GoldenEye,
and Gold. Yeah, all that. So, and that's kind of cool.
They are in such good hands.
So, apparently Alicia's going to be playable in that, but it's apparently a game that's featuring a lot of other things like Shovel Knight, the character from SteamWorld Dig's going to be in there, and it's going to feature a bunch of indie people.
So it's like a indie Smash Brothers.
Yeah, if you look at it, like the little the slate cards for the characters are kind of done up, kind of in the same thing as like Brawl or Smash characters. So,
Well, at the very least, I don't expect to see like Evil Cole and Cole like a PlayStation also Battle Royal.
no. I think honestly that like Alicia in Hex Heroes is more of a skin on top of an already existing job class, so that's how those work. But anyway, it's cool to see it having influences outside of its own games, whether it be by Chucklefish or whoever's making Hex Heroes and whatnot. So it's making a really big impact, and it's doing it quickly.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So-
Oh yeah, please, Maya,
So
go ahead.
I wanna say something about this Kickstarter. I think one of the reasons why it's shot off so well so fast is the fact that there's actual footage of the game. Obviously, the game is already at least partially made based on all these GIFs and videos of actual in-game footage. A lot of Kickstarters don't have that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Usually,
That's a great way to
you're,
fail.
You're backing just concept art or an idea. This is already in development and has been for a while. So
Yeah, 7 years,
Which gives
right?
confidence.
So,
It gives a lot of confidence that it's almost done. Like it's not gonna be like, oh, here's my money, and then we didn't finish. Sorry.
yeah,
Right. I guess that does give it a lot more credibility that people can trust.
Yeah, and trust is important for the entire Kickstarter thing. Monica was saying that a lot of times they just have concept art and stuff. Now, concept art and just ideas work better when the people behind a Kickstarter are actual devs that have made stuff like Keiji Inafune's Mighty Number 9.
Well,
Like,
well,
look,
just
we-
having the name Inafune is going to
Yeah.
pull a lot.
Yes. Yeah, but that just means that people trust him to make a game. And they already know how passionate he is. But a lot of people don't have that off the cuff. So what they have to do is, like Heart-Forth Alicia, they have to have concrete materials to show the backers so that they can join in. Like, like I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm making a game for RPG Maker. It's gonna be called Lantis's Field Trip, and he goes to the zoo. Like, like it makes no sense to ask for money for that.
What about the concept art, though?
Yeah, like Lantis behind a
Lantis in a
giraffe.
lion outfit DLC.
There you go. Who could resist?
That
No
DLC.
one.
That DLC.
Though, and you gotta say, just like the very opening sentence just draws me out. Like, 90s inspired. I like the 90s. Metroidvania. I like Metroidvania. RPG. I like RPGs. This is also, coming up, like, great. What can
Yeah.
you not like?
Yeah, and I mean, it's been getting a lot of press from like Destructoid and Kotaku and places like that. So it's doing nothing but helping.
Yep.
And with that, let's go ahead and get one quick last word around. So, Faye, why don't you go ahead and just give a quick little
Okay,
ditty.
here's my last word. Fund it.
That was 2.
It was too. Lantis, why don't you go next?
Okay, my word is Farfin Nougat.
What the heck? At least mine makes sense.
At least that was an actual concept. Okay, whatever. Just stand in the corner for a second. All right, Malachi.
Heart-Forth Alicia.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an explosive title right there. And
Exclusive.
and I think I might not fund this, but I really do love the art. I'll
Fund
probably let one of these people buy it first and tell me how it is, and then I'll probably just jump right in.
Oh my gosh,
That's what
like,
I'll probably do.
it doesn't need the funding anymore. Like it's reached its
Well,
goal
yes, that's
and
true.
surpassed it, and still has a month to go.
Yep.
Yeah, everything else from this point on is gravy.
Just stretch goals.
Yep, just it's all it is just stretch goals. I wonder what kind of stretch goals they're gonna have, but
New Game Plus, they have a challenge dungeon, PS4 port, and Mac and Linux port. Linux. Port.
Linus.
Linux.
Yeah, for the peanuts for it.
I think I might
But-
be having a mild stroke
Well,
today.
but you did mention PS4, and that's leading into our next topic of discussion, which is an article that came out from Game Informer's Mike Futter. What? That says that E3 must be a showcase for exclusives. Now, of course, the first thing on your mind is like, well, no crap. But I'm just going to share a little bit of the article. I'm just going to skim over it a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Where
you
he
summarized
said,
that.
so he said he spent a day looking over the 3 major console platforms and looking for exclusives that they each have. Now,
And-
for the rest of 2014, all of them have between 4 and 5 exclusives each,
And that's kind of poor.
which is very low. And he goes on to say that, I mean, like most of them are, or most of the other games that are coming out are going to be multi-platform. There's only about 6 that are exclusive to the current generation. And that brings up the point about how important E3 2014 is to shaping the gaming landscape for the next few years. As some of us may know, Sony released numbers of sell-through to consumer PS4s, and they have over 7 million, versus Microsoft's sold to retailers of 5 million. Obviously, PS4 has a bit more steam than Xbone.
A little bit. Like the difference.
Yeah,
Like 2
The
million
Japanese
difference
backing.
isn't isn't deciding. It's not going to decide, what's going to make or break either one of these consoles this generation.
but the thing is, this E3, every console developer has something on the line. First off, Sony has to keep the train moving as the industry leader right now. Microsoft has to recover from their amazing E3 last year, and I mean amazing E3 in the worst possible way you could ever imagine.
They retooled that whole thing. I think they pretty much
Yeah.
fired everyone who messed up.
Yeah, and then and Nintendo, of course, is in last place now that both of them have launched, and they need some way to see if they could even salvage the Wii U.
Well, it's funny though
It's
because
done this summer.
how many of us have Wii U's?
I do.
I do.
I do.
We all have Wii. None of us have PS4s or Xbones.
I have a PS4.
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
yeah.
yeah.
Faye has a PS4 actually.
Okay, never mind.
She's enjoying that.
Yeah, I
As far as I
love the
can tell.
Vita
You
Play.
enjoying those 5 exclusives?
Yeah.
Actually,
I bet
I'm
you
looking
are.
at their exclusive lists for E3. Drive Club, The Order 1886, and Planet's Side 2
Yeah,
are actual games, but they have listed Diablo 3 as an exclusive. It's like the Ultimate Evil Edition, but I'm sorry,
still
Diablo
Diablo
3 is on another platform. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
an
on PC.
exclusive. And Last of Us Remastered. First of all, that game hasn't even been out a year. Why is it
Yeah,
even being remastered?
I think that's super stupid, number
well,
one.
well, the thing is, they remastered for PS4.
Right.
So
But it's
is
one
this a reason?
generation!
Look,
Well, I know, but the thing is, it's a way for people who have PS4s to have content to buy. So if you haven't bought The Last of Us for PS3, you can get it for PS4, and
right,
you get a
but
little,
it's
and a
not
little bit
an
extra.
I think calling Diablo 3 and Last of Us exclusives to PS4 is a little bit misleading.
Well, you can't get The Last of Us on any other console.
PS3?
Well, not remastered.
Get
Right.
Well, but I think the main thing with most of us is that the exclusives that we know about for PS4 and Xbone are not enough to make us want to purchase one of those consoles. Whereas if you look at Nintendo's upcoming exclusives, they have Bayonetta 2, Mario Kart 8, and Super Smash Brothers.
They got Smash U.
For Smash U, yes. As we talked about on this cast before. So, those 3 games have me with a Wii U waiting to get booted up.
Right.
Yeah,
tell-
like
I
Mario
tell you
Kart
that.
and Smash, it's going to be a start from the bottom, now we're here kind of moment.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
To focus on the main issue though is why this E3 is so important, and what can they do to keep their momentum, gain momentum, or start the engine.
Okay,
in the case
so
of Wii.
God.
So let's start with Sony, everyone. All right. I think personally, Sony's doing everything right now. They have me on the fence of whether to get a PS4 or wait. The only thing that's making me hold on is that the game that I want, and I don't know what it is yet, but it just has not been announced or anything. What I think Sony needs to do is what they've been doing. They need to announce more games, varied games. They need to double down on their indie support. They've been doing a little, the last E3, they brought indies on stage. They need to give them the same amount of time or even a little more time. because that's where all the innovation is in the industry now.
Yeah.
And they just need to not piss off their fan base, because the fan base is doing all the word of mouth work. They're doing that. They're handling that. So let's start with Faye. Sony, what do they need to do?
Sony, what they need to do. That's a good one. I feel that their E3 presence for maybe the past 10 years before last year was just so bad. Every time, so bad. I don't even know. But their support to the indie developers is something that I agree is going to make or break it. And they're also going to have to get the games on there. That's about it. You need games. That's what decides what wins. That's why 3DS is kicking the Via's ass. You got no games. Like, I have a Via. I want to buy games. I can't find anything I want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just horrible, but that's my 2 cents.
Mayokai.
Yeah, I think there's no games announced right now for the PS4 that I'm interested in, at least. Everything's a port or something I'm just not looking forward to. If they announce a lot of stuff at E3, which I think they probably will, because they know they need to, I'll be way more interested.
Mm-hmm. Lantis?
Honestly, I don't think PS3 needs to do a whole lot, because, you know, I keep going back to the last E3 conference, right, when they were announcing everything, and when they had practically the entire crowd, cheering and chanting when they, announced all the stuff that we were going to do. The video about how to share a PlayStation 4 game, and just one of the best parts of that entire conference, right, was seeing, like, just from screen to screen to screen, just all these indie games, Don't Starve, Binding of Isaac, just all these scattered across screen, and underneath the screen seeing the indie developer themselves playing their own game on Sony's freaking platform. This is their show. But, like, I completely agree with you, Ix, when you said that, the innovations in indie games. And if they can really focus on that, that will probably give them a boost up over, Xbox or, Nintendo or whatever, right?
But excuse me, Lantis. We only say Xbox in this program.
Right.
I
But
beg your pardon.
here's the problem I have with it. Like, a console can only be as good as its exclusives, right? Like, there's a lot of games I'm looking forward to. Like, one of them that's multi-platform is The Evil Within. Like, I can't wait to play The Evil Within. But as it stands now, I could just buy it on PC for $60, right, or $59.99, or however much it costs, or I could drop a few $100s for a console, and then the money for the game and play it. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, the PC is a contender this gen too, which they don't really even go to E3, do they?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. We're primarily focused, for this time on E3. We don't, PC doesn't really have an E3. The only thing I could think of is if Valve took their system to E3.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not that PC doesn't get supported. It's that third-party developers port their...
Yeah.
They are, like, the representation of PC, kind of.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of different people. There is no gatekeeper like Sony or Microsoft, which we need to talk about next.
Actually,
which is...
before we get to Microsoft, I'll tell you what the PS4 needs to do.
Oh,
Sony needs to reveal The Last Guardian and release it.
Oh my god.
Then I will buy a PS4.
So Maya, if they say The Last Guardian is definitely coming this year, you're buying a PS4.
I will buy a PS4.
He'll go out the next day.
Wow.
That's good. I like that.
I need to actually play the
Yeah, you do.
Shadow of the Colossus.
We should spoil it right now.
I can't consider you my friend until you play it. So,
well, you can consider me your friend in about 5 years.
Wow.
Maybe.
How about this? You've got 2 years, and in 2 years, if you haven't played it by then, I'm just going to spoil it all for you.
Wow. Well,
That's it. You've been forewarned.
Thanks a lot. Well, you're not my friend then.
Y'all are such great friends.
And speaking about people who are not my friends, Microsoft. So, as we know, Microsoft is coming off of a devastating year for them as far as public relations goes. We've talked about before, they were just insane, and that actually cost them last fall when PS4 beat them handily in sales with their $500 console that has a mandatory Kinect on it and all that extra stuff. Microsoft really burnt a lot of their former supporters, which all four of us were at the time.
Oh yeah, we have spent a lot of time on live together.
And spent a lot of money. What's that?
Tried. I can't forgive it.
Yeah, and spent a lot of money on Xbox Live.
Oh
so,
yeah, $50 a year.
So with them doing what they did, that was just a complete blunder. So, the people behind it, as far as I know, are now at other companies, and Microsoft has hired or has promoted somebody who led the media division at Microsoft or something like that into their head honcho of entertainment. I forgot the name. I think it's I want to say Phil Spencer, maybe.
That sounds
I'm not quite
right.
sure. I'm not quite sure, but from what I gather, he seems personable. But that said, he has a ship with multiple holes in it.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him.
So, going into E3 for Microsoft, what do they need to do? Okay, well, first of all, I don't think there's any way they can win me back as a consumer, ever. I don't trust Microsoft. I didn't trust Microsoft at the time, but now, it's just over. But for other people, what I think would be a good move would be to connect from the console. Because that's adding another $100 to the console, whereas Sony has the PlayStation Eye on the side. And for other purposes, as far as I know, no game uses Kinect, even though it's bundled with the console, which is really surprising since Kinect by itself sold quite a few million units, and to have a Kinect with it and not have any other games that support it, that's weird.
Well, it's probably because the Kinect isn't for gaming, probably for collecting data.
I wouldn't take it that far, but I do think that both Sony and Xbox, for how much emphasis they tried to put, I believe theirs is called the Eye or something with the Move.
But yeah, the PlayStation Eye, which they don't really even use.
But it's not utilized all the way. It was a half-baked attempt to copy Nintendo, and it's over.
That's all it's ever been, really.
Yeah,
It's
but
over, man.
But yes, as far as what Microsoft needs to do, they need to rebuild trust in their brand because it's been severely damaged. What they can do would be to have some kind of maybe loyalty program, which is funny because they betrayed us all. But if they had some kind of program where, okay, well, if you've been with Microsoft for, since 2004, we'll give you discounted games or free games, or just something to extend the olive branch out there. And not only that, but they need to give a guarantee. They just say, look, we will support all this stuff for at least 10 years. Yeah, just something. Now, of course, I wouldn't believe that either. But they just need to. They need to give something, and of course, they need the games. They need good games. They have for their thing. They have like stuff I've never heard of, like Project Spark, Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive, and a Halo game, of course, which I have heard of. And I'm a fan of Halo, but I'm not that much of a fan of Halo that I'll buy somebody's stuff after they took a steamer on my face. Now, that's just me. But, okay, so let me just hand it over to you guys. So, Atlantis, why don't you go first? What does Microsoft need to do at E3 to rebuild, to gain on Sony's momentum?
You know what would go a long way for me?
Mm-hmm.
For them to come out and actually admit, look, what we did was wrong and we're sorry. Like, as far as press goes, they'd never admit that what they did was, underhanded and stupid and dumb. Like, and for them to come
you are
out and
unpacking the hell out your adjectives, son.
Well, right. Well, look at it like Final Fantasy XIV, right? Like, Square...
Oh, that's a great example.
Yeah, Square came out and, they're like, listen, this is not the product we really wanted. This is not what we want to... not how we want to be represented. We're sorry that this product did not meet expectations, and here, we're going to make it up to you. And then whenever Brand New World came out, or whenever they released Final Fantasy XIV Brand New World, like...
A Realm Reborn, but same difference.
Sorry, that's got the Final Fantasy VI.
Sorry, I play it. Nerd.
But that really meant a lot to me. Like I'm not into MMO, so I actually didn't play them. But at least as far as my trust or my opinion of Square the company, from them admitting fault actually meant something to me. Like, and that's the kind of connection they need to try to build back up with the people.
It's interesting that you say that, because the head director of that game that took it over said the most important thing in the industry right now is trust. Mm-hmm. And if fans can't trust you, you have screwed up royally.
Yeah, it really is, because like Atlantis, I don't care about Final Fantasy, and I don't even buy Final Fantasy games anymore. But it still helps me seeing what they would do. I'll probably buy Bravely Default.
Yeah, you better.
Oh yeah, I completely recommend it.
And that's by the same company. So, because they weren't underhanded, or it's like, oh, well, you're just playing the game wrong.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I can dig it. It
also,
keeps positive mojo, man.
Yeah, and I think it would also be important to pull out Connect requirements. Like, I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I still won't get one because of that.
It's stupid. And I mentioned that, Big Brother's watching earlier, and that was more of a joke than, really. But, I mean...
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, yeah. It could be possible that they're maybe pooling some kind of data, but I don't think it's malicious, It's just probably statistics.
How'd they pull a naked guy trying to do Let's Dance?
But, that they did end up pulling off the heavy emphasis on DRM, the ever so often online checks and all that stuff. They ended up pulling all that out. The ability to sell games back without the need of the EA code to activate and play, and that's good. That is a good start. But what would and that's a good job in getting your hardware where it needs to be. But that doesn't fix, my trust with the company, so... Right.
Well, that's a pretty good point. Mayokai, would you like to get next?
Yeah, I really don't know what Microsoft can do. I've completely lost, all respect for them. And it's
good.
And PS4 doesn't have any, good games that I see coming in the future right now. But... Microsoft for me really doesn't
Yeah, but and I just thought about this when I was talking about the other thing. But Square Enix, because they apologize, it gives me a positive feeling about the company. And therefore, when they put out a good game, I'm receptive to maybe getting it. Whereas Microsoft, they can put out any amount of good games they want, and I still won't buy it because I still don't trust them.
What are you talking about? You don't want to play Jago Fighter?
No, I actually kind of do want to play Killer Instinct, but
no,
I'm not
Jago
gonna. Yeah, I kind of want to play Jago Fighter, but I'm still not gonna buy a system, especially from Microsoft, to do it on.
Yeah, and it's like even people who like used to be on really good terms with Microsoft aren't even supporting it anymore. Peter Molyneux has been bashing the Kinect recently, and
No.
he originally was like the main
Oh my
supporter
God.
of the Kinect.
Look,
Please, let's not bring that dude up.
If you have Peter Molyneux talking crap about you,
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's
wait a
pretty
minute. If
funny.
he's gonna talk crap, can he live up to all that crap he's talking?
no.
No, let's not even go into that one.
He made some comment on Twitter that there are no Kinect games, so it's stupid. But yeah, I really have no idea what they could do to get me interested in it at least.
Well, fair enough. Faye, we'll end it with you then.
I
On that
need
part.
a Zen moment. Alright. So, my girlfriend gives me a lot of hell about this Xbox One thing. She's like, maybe later on they'll come out with the game you want. I'm like, that's not the point. The point is, I don't want to have a Kinect always on enabled. Do you know the stories about people hacking webcams?
Mm-hmm.
And like sitting there and exploiting people with that? Not even if the government's watching, but people could hack into that and start doing crap with it. I don't know. Like, what would they do, rather? But the bigger point is that I have a PS4 already, so now they're in deep crap because third parties make games for both systems usually, so
See,
why
you already-
should I
you
buy
already
an
did.
Xbox
Like,
One?
you have that cost behind you now. So
I have a PC, I have a PS4, I have Nintendo, I don't need anything else. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
After they took a shat on last year's E3. I'm just done with them. I can't even.
Mm-hmm.
they just
Well-
stood up there and embarrassingly shart themselves
They sharded so hard.
Just a brown spot when they turn around.
and kind of walking away like they've been riding a horse too long.
It was all squishy.
But no, wait a minute. In all due honesty, if they come out with like this mega exclusive, everyone else is playing it game, maybe. But that's not gonna happen. They even lost Bungie. It's kind of like, you guys done goofed. I
Well,
think it's about the
I
sum.
mean, it's not like
Well,
they're
to-
out of the game. They're still 5 million units strong. They've
well,
got
absolutely.
Yeah.
Based on name alone, with people
Yeah,
around
now see,
here.
it's the X Bros. You know,
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Xbone has the hardcore dedicated. Like, every console has a hardcore dedicated. Even when Microsoft did everything wrong, people still bought it. Because they either didn't know, or they just didn't care.
didn't know, didn't understand, or didn't
Oh
care.
yeah, that's another good point. The focus of their console is usually solely like FPS and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, so-
I
Yeah,
could get
play-
that on PS4 and play other
Yeah,
RPG
but
games.
the-
I like
but the-
RPGs.
But the universal thing is, people go where their friends are.
Yeah, that too.
And Microsoft bafflingly threw away a major advantage they had because everybody was on Xbox Live.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Nobody was
on-
using PSN.
Nobody was using PSN. Not for real. Like, they didn't think you could, but that didn't mean anybody was. People were all on that. Now, instead of leveraging all that good feels, good vibes and mojo and stuff, they just dumped it so people who are actually learning about it, the early adopters who are hardcore gamers, most of us are like, what? No. And of course, that just destroyed a lot of stuff. They lost 4 sales here, and how many people do we know who would buy an Xbox if we were on that system? It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that in the first week, their hardware failures with CDs were spectacular.
Yeah.
You should watch some videos.
Wow. but we don't want to get too far off the topic,
Right,
Which
right.
is what Nintendo
Oh.
needs to do at E3 this year to jumpstart their engine, because unfortunately Wii U is not doing so well. Now we have talked about this. We've talked about Nintendo plenty on this program, and just a small recap because the Wii U is a stupid name. People don't even know it's a real console.
Actually, I'm going to interject real quick. Well, not interject. I'm just going to point this out. I don't know how many people watch the Game Theorist channel on YouTube, but he recently did a video on why the Wii U wasn't doing real well. And
Well, do you have a quick synopsis?
Yeah. Basically, he was saying that it had a very, very similar track record to the same reason why the Virtual Boy failed. Like, he's not saying it's as bad as the Virtual Boy, but they had some things in common that ultimately led to them not making, the numbers that they needed to. And I would recommend you all go watch that, because that really puts it in perspective. And you're like, yeah, I can see that.
Another thing to put into perspective right now is that the Dreamcast at this time had sold twice as many numbers as the Wii U at this time, and that's when Sega left the business.
Well,
Now, of course, Nintendo is not Sega. They could have like 70 Wii U's in a row and still be alive, because they have that much money.
Yeah.
But the Wii U coming off of the sales juggernaut of the Wii has got to be a surprise for Nintendo. But the thing is, okay, hold on. Let me rephrase this. Nintendo wanted to release an HD console with a new way to play, but their internal division did not have a goal in mind for the gamepad that they had. None of the games that they released show off like why it's important to have the gamepad. So even the controller itself, which is supposed to be a drawing point of the system, is just this controller. It's just a thing. And in fact, a lot of games are just turning off the screen.
Yeah.
Which is the worst possible thing you can do. But that aside, Nintendo going into this E3 does have the advantage of having some big exclusives on their side. Like I said before, Bayo 2 and Mario Kart.
Oh.
Well, no, Mario Kart 8 is coming out next month,
Yep.
I believe. But so they'll still have Smash Brothers, and of course they have the future games like Shin Megami Tensei, Cross
They'll
Fire
probably
Emblem,
be brewing a
and
new
X.
Zelda soon.
and Zelda, and all types of games that are coming out. But
Zorldo.
but the thing is, Nintendo themselves are finding out that their big guns are not able to push these consoles off the shelves as fast as they want to. So with that in mind, at E3, I think Nintendo needs to get really bold and experimental. They have the war chest. They have so much money. They shouldn't be being conservative right now. This is the time to explore a crap ton of different things that Nintendo likes to explore weird crap. So they can do this and get attention for the Wii U this way. And look, they still have time. They could change it to Super Wii. I'm just saying.
Change it to Super Wii, yeah.
But how about facts? What does Nintendo need to do?
I think that this year at E3, if they even go, because they didn't even go last year, they just did Nintendo Directs.
Oh yeah. Actually, the first thing they need to do is actually go.
I don't think they need to go. The Directs last year were good enough. I think that they're actually going to do what you said. They're going to try something really bold. You remember a few months ago they did that. Iwata did that big conference where he discussed the future of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to go ahead and go with a lot of that stuff. They're going to talk about quality of life products and stuff
Which
like
I
that.
don't understand what that means, but
No one really does, and I think they'll probably unveil it at E3, and I think it'll be big, but I don't know.
You
And
guys, you heard it here first. Nintendo Rift.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
Nintendo is not in the business of copycat.
No,
So,
no, they're not.
and I think they're gonna unveil their like customer like assurance policy that they talked about in that same interview, where they talked about giving discounted prices to people who buy more games, so they can continue to buy more games, and I think that'll be really good for them. I think they're gonna do fine. So, like, compared to Sony and Microsoft, unless Sony and Microsoft show off some really good exclusives and Microsoft like wins back the respect of everyone in the world, I think Nintendo is in a better ship right now, and I think they could probably get away with just showing Smash Brothers and Zelda and Bayonetta 2, and they would be declared the winner at this point.
Wow. Well, that's a thought. Lantis, you go.
Well, the first thing, honestly, they just need to pile on games and not really much more else. Like, I think, from what I remember in a interview with Michelle Ansel, that Beyond Good and Evil 2 might be a Wii U exclusive.
Really?
And if that's true, then that right there, like, I cannot express how much I love that game. That is like one of my top 10. I love Beyond Good and Evil. So, like, they need to push stuff out like that. Bayonetta 2, Day One, love Platinum. I mean, just I've got the console. It's in my house. Like, and there are games coming that I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm invested already, right? As are a lot of people. It's kind of funny. Like, the previous year, the Wii U was, had the moniker, it prints money, because how well it was doing. But during that generation, I was actually more kind of like, I kind of resented Nintendo because I thought it was just, all waggle physics and all this stuff, and I didn't like it and all this stuff. The Wii U, I actually kind of like a lot better than the Wii, and it kind of sucks seeing it kind of stagger behind this time, but, if they just pile on the games, and look, there's still a lot of potential in there. I'm a lot more willing to invest in the gimmicks of the Wii U versus the gimmicks of the Wii. I never liked waggle physics. I never did, but the ideas like Eternal Darkness 2 on the Wii U and being able to do the mind game sanity tricks with the pad, like, there's so much there, right? And I know it can be what I think it can be. It's just, they just have to do it. And the one thing that would push all this, on top of all this, if they just put legitimate online support with all their games, that's all they need to do. Like, if Wii U 3D or Mario 3D World had online, I'm sure, I am so positive that they would have, that probably would have been the push to get those consoles off that shelf. Just
I would have bought it.
yeah, I think there's a lot of people.
I didn't even buy 3D World because I played at your house.
Yeah, exactly. See that they're missing sales there because of couch co-op. They get the online, they're gonna get the community in there, right? Because so get online first and foremost. First and foremost, you get online, and then you just pile on the good games. And so at E3, if they be like, hey, we're going to have full online support, and here's a bunch of good games, that's all Nintendo needs to do.
It could only help. I agree. Faye.
Alright, I got this. Nintendo. In terms of exclusives, they have it locked down already. I don't know if you guys recall this, but Mario Kart Wii sold the most Wii consoles probably of any release they pushed out.
Yeah, I think it pushed like 38 million units or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. And people are already hyped for Mario Kart 8, and they're saying they're going to buy a console for it. And then on top of that, this winter, I believe you have Smash Brothers for Wii U coming out, and that's going to help the holiday sales of the console, especially if they do like a bundle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel they're going to announce a new Zelda game for Wii U at this one. It seems like it's been a long time since they've done one on a console. I believe Skyward Sword was the last one on Wii. So
That was 2011.
yeah, it's been a little bit. So I think they're gonna start developing some new stuff since Aonuma, I believe, said that they weren't gonna do any more remakes for a little bit after
Okay.
Wind Waker. And I actually do like the gamepad right now because I can just switch it to the gamepad and chill and play my games on there. But I really would like them to use it better. And one of the games that could have done it was the Wario game on Wii U. But they made it more like a tech demo than a true WarioWare title. It could have been like Smooth Moves or something like that and really used the gamepad, but I feel like they kind of just went short on it. It's not worth full money. So, my opinion though is that Nintendo's gonna probably win the C3 and they'll probably get like a B plus. Sony will probably get like a B minus or a C, and then Microsoft's probably gonna get like a D. That's my prediction.
Oh,
Wow.
come on. You know Nintendo's going to be pushing all their 3DS units after Tomodachi Life comes out, though.
Oh, whoa.
All hail the Virtual Boy.
Oh, that was the best part of that trailer.
I think the best part was the dude rolling around on his office.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
when he was sitting there like, yeah, they all the characters have their own,
Favorite
like,
things to do. And
favorite thing to do. Roll around on floor.
I still want to get that game. It's
What?
just all hail the Virtual Boy.
Well, you got to roll around somewhere.
You gotta roll around at the speed of sound, even.
You got places to go. Got to follow your rainbow.
Mm.
Well, yeah. Well, that is pretty interesting. A final word or a final grade, I guess, for everybody's E3. I personally see. I see Nintendo probably doing a solid B. Sony has momentum on their side, but I just remembered that Jack Tretton left the company a few months ago. Like he got everything organized, and he's like, "Oh, time to roll on," and he just left. So they have some new blood in there. I don't know if they'll have an A like they did last year, but they will probably be like a B, I think, like you said. And Microsoft Microsoft might have the C plus. Facts.
That's generous.
Yeah, I think Nintendo and Sony probably both in the B range. They have good things going for them right now. Microsoft C, D, F, whatever. If Sony shows Last Guardian, A plus plus plus.
Would watch again.
Like from Christmas Story when the
A
teachers just
plus.
And Lantis.
I think that I bet Sony is going to pull it home the best, followed by Nintendo, and then Microsoft. The thing about Microsoft is, I don't think they're going to do very well, but I think globally they're going to do fine because all the the X Bros are just, you can't. They're en masse.
They are Legion.
They are Legion. So, I'm sure Microsoft's going to come out of it just fine. And I'm not really happy about that either. But I don't know.
You're just gonna have to be.
So I think it's going to be like Sony and Nintendo are probably going to be around the B area, and with Microsoft in C and D.
Well, you heard it here, Microsoft. You better prove us wrong. As if anybody from Microsoft is listening here. But, so, any last thoughts, people, before we end this?
Potato Cunishes.
Okay. Atlantis, that's yours. Facts. Mayakai?
There are many things that need to be erased.
Indeed. And Faye?
Such as the Xbox One.
There we go.
Well, I don't think I can top that, so we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Take the piece. Do not put it to Xbox One.